Deeply passionate about human rights and social reform, striving for a better quality of life for all. As a young person himself, he is excited to engage with youth, offering guidance, mentorship, and advice whenever possible. Please, my dear beloved sisters and brothers, please help me bring to the podium to share some news with us, Sheikh Mohammed. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Respected guests, scholars, and mentors, my fathers, my mothers, and again in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most High, the Beneficent, the Merciful, and we ask Him to send His blessings and salutations on the family of the last messenger of Islam, the Holy Prophet, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And righteous companions. I feel really honored to be presenting in front of you esteemed personalities and obviously having the honor of being invited to this historic and really important venue, not just within the religion of Islam, but also from a cultural perspective. Us being from the African diaspora, I think this venue, this building, where it's located, and the benefits and the things that it gives back to the community is something that is uncountable. And we give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us, obviously, to have this venue and these gatherings between our own people. I know the times have been short, and obviously in keeping with proper Muslim tradition, we started on time. So with whatever time you have, I would just like to share a couple words from the successor of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and who is also recognized as the fourth Caliph amongst other schools of thought, and that is none other than Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib Salawat. Imam Ali alayhi salam, in a letter to Malik al-Ashtar, a person who he appointed as governor of Egypt, he was advising him on how he should deal with the public. And these words somehow resonated throughout history and even became part of the United Nations. And he said that a person is either your brother in faith or your equal in humanity. Now here, Amir al-Mu'mineen, what he's trying to show us is that we may be of different madhabs or different school of thought, but don't ever forget that a human being will always be your equal in humanity. Now look at the type of leader that Amir al-Mu'mineen was. When you talk about humanitarianism, about looking out for each other, look at his words. He doesn't care if you're a Sunni, he doesn't care if you're a Shia, he doesn't care if you're a nation of Islam. He's saying if you're a human being, because we came from Hazrat Adam and Lady Hawa, who is referred to as Eve, he's saying that we are all equals. Now obviously, from a jurisprudential and fiqh perspective, we may have a lot of differences. Maybe just now is the time for iftar. You may see some people breaking their fast, some people saying that we have to wait a bit longer. Of course, some people may pray with their hands folded, some may pray with their hands at the side. From a jurisprudential perspective, yes, we have a lot of differences. But look, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought us here. Look at the commonalities we have amongst ourselves. We have the same Prophet. We have the same Qibla. We have the same book. We have the same, so many commonalities amongst ourselves. But the enemies of Islam, what they try to do, they try to focus on the differences. Look at the Shia, look at what they're doing. Look at the Sunni, look at what they're doing. Look at the Nation of Islam, look at what they're doing. No, Amir al-Mu'minin is saying here, we are all equals when it comes to humanity. This brother is my brother. This sister is my sister. No matter which madhab they belong to. There's a saying from the founder of the Islamic Revolution, Imam Ruhollah Khomeini. He says beautifully that the Muslims are busy bickering whether as to fold their arms while praying or unfold them. But the enemy is devising plans to cut off our hands. This is what Imam Khomeini says. What he's pointing at to here, and it ties into what Amir al-Mu'minin is saying, that we have to focus on what is common amongst ourselves to ensure unity. If you look at any religious community, in order for them to achieve success, what they do is work together. You look at the Jews. The Jews is maybe the most powerful sect in the world. Yes? Do the Jews have differences between them? Of course, they have many differences. But when a Jew sees another Jew, they are like brother and sister. They're like family. They leave all the differences aside, but they say, you are my brother in Judaism, and I'm going to support you. I'm going to support your business. You're going to marry within the Jewish community. And these are some lessons that we have to learn to establish within our school of thought and our deen as well. When I see a brother, he says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. There is no God but Allah. I say, he's just like me. He believes in monotheism. He believes in Tawheed. I said, this is my brother. I don't ask him, brother, how do you pray? Brother, how do you fast? You believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you believe in the Prophet, you are my brother. But Amir al-Mu'minin also takes it further than that. He's saying, even if someone doesn't say La ilaha illallah, you're a Hindu, you're an atheist, but you call yourself a human being, you are my equal. You deserve respect, you deserve kindness, you deserve to be honored. And this is what Amir al-Mu'minin is saying when he says here, a person is either your brother in faith or your equal in humanity. Now, we have the Quran, which is common amongst us. And let's listen to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about this topic of equality in humanity. He says in Surah Hujurat, which is the 49th surah of the Holy Quran, he says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha. Now look how beautifully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses the people. He says, Ya ayyuhan nas. He doesn't say, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. He doesn't say, oh you who believe. He says, oh mankind, Ya ayyuhan nas. Whether you believe in me or not, we created you from dhakar wa untha, from men and women. What else? He says, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلًا. We created amongst you nations and tribes for one reason, لِتَعَارَفُوا, so that you get to know each other. And then he continues, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. The best and the nearest towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not the Shia, it's not the Sunni, it's not the Ahmadi, it's the one who does good deeds, who has taqwa, who is pious, who is fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. What is the purpose of this division, you may ask? Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create Shu'uba or Qaba'il and these different nations? Why didn't he just make us one people? Well, he says, so that you get to know. We don't assume, okay, I heard this about the Shias, I heard this about the Sunnis, and you have no proof. Go ask the brother, I heard this about your sect. Is this true? Have discussion, have relation, have academic discussions, have fruitful debates. We can agree to disagree. Why do you do like this? Well, according to my school of thought, it's like this. Okay, mashallah, you're still my brother. Look at what's going on today in Palestine. Look at the situation amongst the Muslims. And you ask yourself, if these Muslims did not stay together, they would have been wiped out. Because this war on Gaza has been going on not 20 years, not 30 years, not 40 years, over 50, 60 years. And these people are still rebelling against the Zionist movement. How? How is it possible? Because they stick together. Amongst the Palestinians, there are a lot of differences. There may be a lot of different schools of thought, even within Palestine, amongst these Muslims. But they say, you know what? We are Palestinians. That we come from the same tribe. We come from the same background. This land belongs to us. So no matter, I may be Sunni, I may be Shia, I may be even Christian. There are Christians in Palestine. Maybe some of us didn't know. But they stick together when they are being fought against the Zionists. And they say we have to defend our land. When these Jews come and try to take our land, we're not going to say, I am Sunni, I am Shia, I am this, I am that. They say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, let's go. Jihad, fight, war. My grandmother, my grandfather did not acquire this land for me to give it up so easily. And they stick together. And these are the concepts that we have to develop as well, especially within Trinidad and Tobago. We are such a small island. You know, if you look at the Muslim population within Trinidad and Tobago, it's maybe 10, 11, 12%. How much of 1.3 million people is that? A couple thousand. So when we have differences within this small community, this makes us even weaker. We say this is India, this is Africa, this is Syria, this is Lebanon. No, brothers and sisters. Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha. We created you, ya ayyuhan nas. Not ya ayyuhal ladina amanu, not those who believe, O mankind. We created you from man and woman. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ. Different tribes, different nations. But when I look at the audience here, I see one face. I see one background. How can we have differences when we all came from this African diaspora? It's impossible. It's wrong. Look at our brothers and sisters on the African continent. And I'm hearing the azan, so I'll wrap up quickly. But look what's going on in Sudan. Look what's going on in Nigeria. These are the people where we came from. Someone did a survey recently, and most of the people in Trinidad, their background goes back to Yoruba, which is a tribe in Nigeria. Many of us don't know that. These are our ancestors in Ghana, in Nigeria, and they are being oppressed. We, as a community in Trinidad, we don't have the right to act on these small differences amongst ourselves. No. The point here is that we must stick together in the name of unity, in the name of brotherhood, in the name of the commonalities that we have between ourselves. Everyone came here not to see me speak. Everyone came here for one reason, for iftar, for the food. Yes? So we all believe in this iftar. Whether you're Sunni, whether you're Shia, whether you're Ahmadi, whether you're Hanafi, Salafi, Ahmadi, whatever, they say we're going to Kwame Toure Center because of the food. Yes or no? Maybe I'll listen to Sheikh Muhammad who say maybe, but the food is the common ground between ourselves. Whether you break your fast 5 minutes before me or 5 minutes after me, it doesn't matter. We're all going to have iftar. And this is the point that we focus on. When the Adhan is called, we're all going to pray Maghrib, and then we're going to pray Isha. No one is going to pray Fajr, and then Zuhr, and then Asr, and then some other prayer. We're all going to pray Maghrib, we're all going to pray Isha. Whether I pray with my hands folded or my hands at the side, we're all going to pray to one God. And that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is what Amir al-Mu'mineen is trying to tell us, brothers and sisters. I'm not sure if the time, but I can keep blabbering, but I'm hearing the growls and some guys' stomachs. So let me know. I heard it's roti, so if it's roti, I'll come off. Salawat ala Muhammad. I'll just close on this point. And this was something that was taking place when Daesh was really active, in Iraq and in Syria. And these Daesh people, they were killing Muslims, they were killing Christians. They didn't care about anything. They didn't really belong to a particular sect or particular matter. They were just killing telling people left, right, and center. And Sayyid Ali Sistani, this is what he said about this issue. He said that the Muslim Ummah needs to come together, and the Shia don't call the Sunni brothers and sisters, or the Sunni call the Shia brothers and sisters. He said, Qalu anfusina, say that they are ourselves, that there is no difference between the sects, there is no difference between the madhab. And in this unity, this was the only way that Daesh was able to be defeated in Iraq. When he said that the Muslims, even the Christians, we're going to join together, he said, Qalu anfusina, say that you are together as one people. Don't label yourselves in sects and groups. Say that we in Iraq, we are Iraqis. We are Muslims. The first thing, we are just Muslims, and we're going to fight against this terrorism. And this is how they were defeated. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our ibadah, accept our worship, accept our fasting in this holy month of Ramadan. You know, the month passes so quickly. We're even now in the last 10 days. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to make the full use of the holy month of Ramadan, whatever remains, and obviously to allow us to see many more, because there were brothers and sisters who were with us last year and they're not with us this year. So hopefully, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we live to see many more holy months. We make use of the nights of Laylatul Qadr, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala obviously accepts our ibadah, our zikr, our salah, and keep the unity amongst our brothers and sisters, especially those who come from the African diaspora, and that we see each other as brothers in faith and equals in humanity. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.